coming up tonight on the news at 6. Helena Public Schools wants input about possible phase changes as COVID-19 cases continue to fall in the county and state. Plus, our chief political reporter Mike Dennison connected with Montana's U.S. senators to get their thoughts on this Inauguration Day.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening. Welcome to the news at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight at 6, Helena Public Schools leaders want input from families as they decide on making changes to school operations for the rest of the year. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has the latest.
With the school year near its halfway point, Helena School District leaders say it's time to consider possible changes to their COVID-19 plans. That could include looking at the possibility of returning students to fully in-person classes. Since August, Helena Public Schools have been in Phase 1 of the district's reopening plan, with students having classes in person 2 days a week and online the other 3. This week, the district sent a survey to families, asking them to weigh in on how the current hybrid model of classes has worked for their children, whether the district should phase up to all students on campus at the same time or stay with the hybrid model, and whether it's more important to stick with one phase for the rest of the year or adjust based on local health conditions. District leaders say they'll share the survey results with a committee of parents, staff, and school trustees. In the coming weeks, they'll be tasked with looking at whether to make any changes. The school district has been monitoring a variety of indicators, including active COVID-19 cases in Lewis and Clark County, new reported cases, and the rate of positive tests. Most of those measurements have been improving over the last month. I spoke briefly to District Superintendent Tyler Ream. He said other districts in the state are currently looking at phasing up their operations, so now it made sense for the Helena district to talk to their own stakeholders. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Missoula Public Schools will start shifting to more on-site learning next week, and other large districts like Great Falls are already back to Monday through Friday classes. Taking a look at the state's COVID-19 situation, active cases of COVID-19 in Montana continue to sit just below 5,000. One death has been reported since last night, which brings the statewide death total to 1,116. Active hospitalizations continue to decline and sit at just below 160. MTN uses a combination of state and local data to provide you with the most up-to-date numbers regarding COVID-19 in our state. And because of that, our numbers may differ from the state report. All right, now it's time for First Weather with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz, or should I say Elliot?
Elliot, N-E-T here. Hey, good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a nice day out there today. Tomorrow, a little different here, what you can expect from today. You can see where this area is shaded in purple. We've actually got a winter weather advisory, not including Helena, but just south of town. This does include Broadwater, Jefferson counties here, Townsend through Toston and Jefferson City, down through Boulder, all the way to Cardwell here, out through White Sulphur Springs. Also included in this, around the Bozeman area, out through about Harlowton and Judith Gap. So a little light snow. We'll talk snowfall accumulations coming up in the full forecast, but a series of minor snow events, not really big, but just a little light snow coming through at times over the next few days. Where'd the wind go? Yeah, it blew off into the Dakotas here, and it's going to stay there. We get a little break from the gusty conditions that we've had, and what will be consistent about the forecast? Some colder temperatures, even a little colder than normal, which is colder than what we've experienced. I'll have more in the full forecast coming up.
Yet hear me clearly. Disagreement must not lead to disunion. And I pledge this to you. I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans.
President Joe Biden was sworn in as the 46th president of the United States earlier today. The new president immediately got to work, eager to sign more than a dozen executive orders, including on climate change and mask wearing. He also unveiled a sweeping immigration reform bill. Montana's congressional delegation attended the inauguration, including our 2 U.S. senators, Republican Steve Daines and Democrat John Tester. MTN's Mike Dennison talked to both senators about how they see the Senate and the country moving forward under a new president.
Both senators spoke positively about Wednesday's ceremony and how it's a symbol of our democracy.
It's a great day where the country country comes together, Republicans and Democrats together, sitting with this important transfer of power that we have done faithfully now for over 200 years.
But they also noted that a power-sharing agreement hasn't yet been worked out in the 50-50 Senate. Tester said it should come soon, and that an early indicator of cooperation will be whether Republicans try to hold up confirmation of key Biden cabinet appointees.
And hopefully, folks will treat him like he treats us. He said he was going to be transparent, honest, and he was going to tell the truth to us, and I think we need to do the same for him. And I think if that were to happen, that means we're going to be working together and getting some things done.
Tester said the first priority must be getting the pandemic behind us, including making more vaccines available and faster.
We need to get those vaccines on the ground, get them in people's arms, and it needs to be done quickly. Look, at the rate we're going, it'll be June or July of 2021 before Montana gets vaccinated. That's unacceptable.
Senator Dane said he's willing to find common ground with the Biden administration, but he's disappointed that one of the president's first actions is stopping the Keystone XL oil pipeline, which would cut across a corner of northeast Montana. He also said Biden's proposed COVID-19 relief bill at $1.9 trillion is not a fiscally prudent path.
I think it is has a huge price tag that we can't afford. We've already pushed out nearly $4 trillion in COVID relief over the course of the last year.
Tester said he wants to get Biden's COVID-19 package in committee and see if it can be improved. But he said now is not the time for throttling back on aid to the economy.
If you want to make sure the economy never comes back, starve it. Don't put any money in from the federal government. If you want to make sure that those small businesses, those bars, those restaurants, those hotels are out of business, then don't support it.
Above all, Tester said the 50-50 split in the Senate means the body must find ways to agree on steps to move the country forward and leave behind years of often bitter disagreement and very little real work done on the Senate floor or in committees.
And there are people on both sides of the aisle that want to work together and get things done. We just got to do it.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Montana Congressman Matt Rosendale, who also attended the inauguration today, said in a statement that he will, quote, hold President Biden and Vice President Harris in my thoughts and prayers as they begin to lead our nation, end quote. Rosendale continued to oppose the certification of Biden's electoral votes after a mob stormed the Capitol 2 weeks ago. Now you can read all of our Montana delegation statements online at ktvh.com. And join MTN News tonight for a Facebook Live political roundtable. Jay Cohn, chief political reporter Mike Dennison will be joined by MTN analysts Ashley Strong and Eric Stern. They will talk about the day's events in D.C. and discuss the new Congress and our Montana delegation. Join the conversation tonight right after this newscast at 6:30 on the KTVH Facebook page. And at the Montana State Capitol, Inauguration Day was quiet. State administrators reported no significant organized demonstrations, and for most of the day, no one was making any political displays outside the building. Leaders said they did have additional security on hand out of an abundance of caution. They said they worked closely with Helena Police and other law enforcement partners to ensure there were no issues. Administrators say security will continue to be a priority as the legislative session continues.
Our job is to always keep people safe here and to always be cognizant of any potential threats or issues. So, we'll just continue on with business as usual, and we'll just respond accordingly to any issues that we see on the horizon.
Leaders said most state capitals across the U.S. saw only small demonstrations today. And still ahead on the news at 6, students who started but have not completed a degree have a new opportunity to complete their education. We have the details up next.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. People who attended college but did not complete their studies for any number of reasons now have a new path to earning their degree at Helena College. MTN's John Riley reports.
The Montana Department of Labor and Industry is partnering with Helena College for the Become an Alum program. The state program aims to help former students of any college, university, or certification program who left school before attaining a degree or credential and help them return to college.
And it's a really exciting way for people who started their college education and for whatever reason weren't able to complete. They're able to take advantage of some additional support and services provided by our job service in order to look at coming back to college to finish their degree and further their career.
Depending on the needs and available resources, assistance may be available to help with the cost of books, supplies, tools, or other fees associated with finishing a degree. Job Service Helena staff have already contacted more than 1,000 former students with information about the program. Job Service can also help individuals find a new career path suited to available employment in the area.
Job Service has worked with Helena College for a long time, and both of us have been in touch with the employer community to see what kind of skills, what kind of education are our employers looking for.
The programs available at Helena College range from nursing to finance to industrial and trade like welding and diesel technology. Staff can also help with transferring students get applicable credits for courses taken at other institutions. A degree can be a powerful tool in helping an individual or family change their economic situation. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, a degree can increase earning potential by hundreds of dollars each week. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
Helena College also has online classes and flexible scheduling for non-traditional students and working professionals finishing their degrees. You can find more information about the Become an Alum program and support on our website, ktvh.com. All right, now with another look at that weather, here's Elliot.
And this is where ET is from, looking down at Earth here. Let's take a little closer look, and there's a little area of low pressure that's moving down the coast of British Columbia. That will move into Montana tomorrow, with some areas seeing some snow. More of the full forecast coming up.
Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenes.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got a pretty nice day out there today. The wind is dying down. Great Falls, only a west wind of 9 miles per hour, and it has been an extremely windy period here across a lot of the state, not just the last couple of weeks, but really the last few months, and we get a nice little break as far as the wind goes. Helena, look at that, a little light still in the sky. That is nice. We're adding about 2 to 3 minutes of daylight a day here as we head towards spring. 39 degrees, west wind at about 6 miles per hour. 20s and 30s, a couple of 40s out there, Bozeman and Livingston. Slowly, some cooler air will ooze into the state here, and the temperatures will be actually a little below average as we get through the rest of the week and the weekend into next week. Still very windy down around the Livingston area, but the wind, look how many calms are here on the map. The wind beginning to subside. Now, a winter weather advisory again from around the Judith Gap area, even closer to about Big Timber, through Bozeman, up through Townsend, White Sulphur Springs, Boulder, all the way almost including Helena. Light snow though, 1 to 3 inches, the mountains up to 5, and this going through tomorrow all the way into Friday morning. Nothing on the radar here right now, looking awfully dry. There is just a little moisture down there around Oneida Pass and then working its way over the Cascades here. Not a lot of moisture, but just a little. And that's what the storm will produce, just a little in the way of some snow. Elsewhere, we've got some rain in the southern part of the country and then also a little snow, a little lake effect snow moving through the Great Lakes into the northeast. So here is the timing of the snow. And not everybody will see snow, and certainly not everybody will see a lot of snow. There's just a little accumulation really from a line of about Lewistown, Great Falls, over through Missoula. The snow will push up close to, if not just south of that line here. So tomorrow morning, a little snow mainly south of Helena. At times that snow will push up in the direction of Helena, maybe a little snow up the Rocky Mountain frontier. But it's little, it's light, and it's mainly in the southwestern and south central part of the state here. But still even a little snow continuing into Friday early morning. Some partly cloudy skies elsewhere. The high line looking at generally partly cloudy skies here over the next couple of days. Maybe a little light snow pushing back up through Boulder and Helena as we get into Friday evening and Saturday morning. So series of light snow events coming through. There's that accumulation. Livingston, Bozeman, up through Wilsall, over through about to the Helena area, end at Point South. That's where we will see just a little light accumulation. Even out in the Helena Valley, maybe only about a trace, a little coating, some flurries of snow, 3 inches into the hills around town. Boulder, a solid 2 to 3 inches. Townsend, maybe up to 3 inches just east and just west of the Banana Belt there. White Sulphur Springs, 1 to 2. Lewistown, mainly south of town, up to about 2 inches. And Great Falls, maybe a few flakes. That's it. Here's the forecast for tonight. Teens and 20s out there. Nice clear conditions across the high line. A little more in the way of cloud cover the farther south and southwest you get, and that snow should hold off until early tomorrow morning around Helena. But there you can see that snow for tomorrow. Lewistown, just south of Great Falls, around the Helena area, Missoula, if anybody's traveling that way. Butte getting some snow, Dillon a little snow, Bozeman seeing some snow as well. For Friday, mostly cloudy skies with the exception of north central and northeast Montana. A little more sunshine there. High temperatures will be a little cooler in the 20s and 30s. For Saturday, Arctic air comes very close to the Canadian border up here in northeast Montana. Still fairly cool with temperatures in the 20s to about 30 degrees. And maybe a little snow northeast Montana right along that Arctic boundary, including around Glasgow Saturday night into Sunday morning. Just a little light snow, and temperatures on Sunday still in the 20s and the 30s. Here's the 7-day forecast. So a little light snow, more like flurries around the Helena area tomorrow night, then again Friday night into Saturday morning. Tuesday, we could have a little snow, and believe it or not, those temperatures, 20s and 30s, below average. Average high in Helena is 34, the average high in Great Falls 36, and as we head towards the end of January, those averages start to come up.
All right, thanks, Curtis. Coming up, how Carroll's men's basketball team is feeling at this point in the season. Stay with us.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. The Carroll College men's basketball team has found their footing after returning to the PE Center Saturday against Montana Western. MTN's Sam Hoyle takes a look at how they are feeling about this season so far.
The Carroll College men's basketball team is sitting even with their conference record at 4-4 to this point and 7-5 overall. The Fighting Saints rolled over the Montana Western Bulldogs both Saturday and Sunday by scores of 81-73 and 78-61. Following Saturday's win, Fighting Saints head coach Kurt Paulson said the way the season has started has been a grind.
A lot of road games to start the season, 9 of 10 to start until tonight, and we just kept telling the kids we're thankful to be playing. So keep coming to practice and giving it your all, and we're just happy to be playing games because a lot of people aren't. And we tried to sell them on that for 2 months, and finally we got some home games.
Last year, the Fighting Saints had a core of players that saw substantial minutes, but this year Paulson is having to rotate players in and out because of the back-to-back nature this season is throwing at him.
Well, these back-to-back games are tough. I think you got to play some guys and get some quick rests if you can, and it's more fun for the kids. I wish I could play them all, but unfortunately that's not the case. And the guys who did get in, gave us some great minutes.
The Fighting Saints will be back in action this Saturday when they take on the Montana Tech Ore Diggers on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Reporting in Helena, Sam Hoyle, MTN Sports.
All right, and we'll wrap things up here on the News at 6 when we come back.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. The Capitol police officer, hailed a hero for his actions during the January 6th attack, got a special honor at the inauguration. Officer Eugene Goodman, seen here in the mustard-colored coat and blue scarf, is escorting Vice President Kamala Harris today. Now, when his arrival was introduced, there was a large round of applause. On January 6th, Goodman was seen on video leading a mob away from an unguarded Senate door during the riots. Goodman has been promoted to acting Deputy Senate Sergeant at Arms for his heroism. All right, and that does it for the News at 6. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 with your latest local headlines and, of course, another look at the weather. But don't forget, you can stay with us around the clock online at ktvh.com. We'll see you back here tonight at 10. Have a great evening.